Welcome to the season of self-love, your daily dose of inspiration and encouragement. I'm your host, Nyomi, and I am thrilled to be here with you today. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Nyomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery. Are you ready to elevate your mindset and embrace the power of self-love? Well, have you come to the right place? Each day we'll dive into topics that will empower and inspire you on your journey towards self-discovery and personal growth. Whether you're looking to cultivate healthy relationships, boost your confidence, or find balance in your life, this podcast is here to support your every step on the way. We believe that self-love is the foundation of living a fulfilled and joyful life. And together we explore practical tips, insightful interviews, and transformative stories that will leave you feeling inspired and motivated. So join me Monday through Friday as we embark on this daily adventure of self-love. Tune into the Season of Self-Love podcast to start your day on a positive note and discover the limitless potential within yourself. All right. Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Today is Thursday, February 1st, 2024. And I want to welcome you all back to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks. And it's beautiful to start a new series. Last month, we were in a series of setting intentions to, did I just get tongue-tied? I just got tongue-tied, didn't I?
Yeah.
I just really quick.
Because you were excited, the fact that you got so much stuff. I saw your calendar and I said, "This you going in for February. I don't know what February you trying to do for February, but you're really doing it." And I was like, okay. I was like, let me sit back and let me watch. Let me watch.
Right. You say, well, let me watch. Well, the voice that you all are hearing right now, I've been so excited for this young man to come and join me here, is Dr. William C. Washington. He is our resident therapist, specialist, doctor, holistic specialist, all of those things. He will be joining me on some of our sessions here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. How's it going?
It's going so well. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to just actually be in the presence of someone that's aligned with me and has the same intentions. And this is the flow that I've been waiting for a long time.
That's what I'm talking about. I like that. I'm very honest in what's going on with me in every moment throughout. If it's early in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
I'm speaking what I feel right now. So let me tell you guys what I've been feeling. But I told you about my migraines before, y'all. So now today I was trying to finish my ebook. I got an ebook that I'm trying to finish up. I have like 2.5 more chapters to go. And it was my deadline was today. My deadline was today because it was all about speaking about setting intentions. That's what it was. It was dominant in 2024, setting your intentions for success. That's what the ebook is all about. But I've been getting stuck. And so I'm kind of like and I was trying to push it and it just didn't feel right because I wanted it done by today. I wanted it done, put up so our listeners can go and download it. But guess what, my beautiful people? It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And you know what? Just at this moment, it's okay. So in real time, I don't want to say this is a setback. I don't want to say that it's a setback. I don't want to. I don't want to. Right. I want to just say that I have to just take a step back, pause, and then when it's right to bring it, because I feel like I've been pushing it. You understand what I'm saying? Like I was pushing it. So if like yesterday we were talking about, and I know we're supposed to be talking about today, but I wanted to share this with you. Yeah. Yesterday we spoke about being in the moment. Being in it, setting your intentions in the moment and living it, And it's an affirmation that I go by now is I live every moment of the day intentional. So instead of me thinking about what my goals is for the next 3 months or for the next 6 months or for the next year, I'm thinking about today and what I have today and to use that for today. So it's more of taking steps to
Yes.
it. You understand? So in my process of me writing the ebook, I was 3 months ahead.
Wow.
Did you hear what I'm saying? I'm 3 months ahead, which I
Wow.
need to be speaking and writing about what's going on now.
I love when it's not you being stuck at all. It's that you learn the value of being still.
Yeah. 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 And
Stuck
it's
means you
hard
don't
for
have
somebody
purpose,
that's,
right?
yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's somebody hard that can run real fast.
I was like, yeah, you been sprinting and now you got to walk.
Right. Yes.
Like,
Now I
right.
got to walk.
Uh-huh.
Now I got to walk.
Uh-huh.
I had shared
Wow.
something with a dear friend of mine yesterday, and it was a message that came to me, and I was saying with the same affirmation, but I was telling to her, I said, I don't know why I want to share this with you. I said, but I do want to share this with you. I said, we have to stop trying to run and we have to walk.
Mm,
I said, we running like we're running out of time. And we have all the time in the world, all the time in the universe for things to happen
mm-hmm.
to us. Because when it happened for us, it's going to
Yeah.
happen for us. And so I said,
Yes.
it's me thinking once again about my goals for 3 months from now. And I said, I don't want you to get confused that you can still think delusional. Your goals can still be delusional.
Right.
Still have to act on a day-to-day basis on what you have. So even though you have that
Yes.
delusional mindset of for your goals, your big goals, but
Mm-hmm.
you have to act of what you have right now to be gracious for what we have right now. And instead of us thinking
Yes.
about what we have right now, we are already to that 3 or 6 months goal that we have. And it was so funny because like, this is what I've been talking about all month long, and it's happening to me in real time.
Yes.
In real time. So it's like, okay, let me step
Wow.
back. And I said, and even if I have to crawl back again, I'm good with that. I'm good with that
Yeah.
because that walk that I was walking, it wasn't a stable walk. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. We've been taught to perform,
Yeah.
right? We've been
Mm-hmm.
taught to perform. We were never taught to just be, right? You
Yeah.
had to go to school, you had to get the A, you had to get the 4.0, you had to get the degree, you had to get these things. It was
Mm-hmm.
never about who you were in the process.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
never asking about who you were.
Yeah.
That's so valuable that you said that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. 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 But I just had to share that because I know when you really come in and you start talking, I gotta loosen you up a little bit. You seem a little, you
Yeah. I
you're
just feel
tight.
excited because no, right? Because I heard when you were saying all your, I was like, I see so much going on, and I was like, I don't think people realize the amount of work it takes to be present.
Yes.
They just see the glam, they don't see all the prep, the way I set this mic up, the way I set all these things, or the way the light. They didn't put the amount of work to just say hi. I'm Dr. Will. It's nice to meet you. They're like they didn't think about all the stress. I was sweating before this. I was sweating, and then I'm glad we centered and we grounded each other, and I appreciated that.
Yes.
So it lets me
Yes.
know you're human, and I
Yes.
appreciate you being human with me. Thank you.
Like
Thank
I
you for
can't
giving me
be
your
nothing
human.
but I can't be
Exactly.
nothing but human. Like seriously. Because I was saying to her, and I'm hoping that you all are listening out there right now, is that we create these scenarios in our head of what we think it should be. And also what we
Mhm.
do because we're so used to
Yes.
that freight train coming. When something so good is coming, and they're like, damn, when that freight train coming, okay, let me do such and such and such so that
Hmm.
freight train won't hit. But then when you sit down and be very honest, that freight train, if it's gonna hit, it's gonna hit. But
It
then
was
when you
doing what it
think
was supposed to do.
it was doing,
Why aren't you doing what you were supposed to do?
hello. Hello. As a matter of fact, you are manifested the freight train.
Right. Right. Or you probably laid down those tracks. You didn't even know it while you were
Right.
thinking work. You probably laid down the
Exactly.
tracks yourself.
Exactly. 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 Which you and that's good that you coming in on here on the power of positive affirmation and rewiring your mind
Mm,
for success. And I know you're new here to this, but it's like what we did with setting intentions. We broke it down in every aspect possible, and that is what we're doing
yes.
with every month. So this month is all about cultivating a positive mindset for dominance in every aspect of your
Oof.
life. So when I sent you that,
That's
what's the
heavy.
name? I know you're like, what? We here Monday through Friday, baby. Now you coming to me 2 days a
That's
week, and I
heavy.
thank you, right? And I thank you for that. But now it's time for us to break it all the way down. You know what I'm saying? Breaking it all the way
Mhm.
down so people can truly understand what all of this means.
Yeah.
How can I get to the core of me? How can I help heal myself from all of the trauma? And when I say trauma, it doesn't specifically mean that you were sexually abused or anything like that. You can have trauma through not being accepted, by not
Mm.
feeling that you're not worthy. It's so many different things
Mhm.
can cause you to have trauma. And when
Trauma
I
is so
say this,
dangerous. Yes.
right, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe 99.9% of the people of this world all have some type of trauma.
Yes. Even when I diagnose people, yes, I can diagnose schizophrenia, schizoaffective, bipolar 1, 2, ADHD, mood disorder.
Hmm.
I can do all that. But honestly, it comes down to trauma, big T or little T. Big T or
Mm.
little T trauma. And because at the end of the day, that is what's going to show. Like when I diagnose, I think of, there's the smoke, there's the fire, and then there's the logs. Usually, I like, yes, I see what you're presenting, I smell it all.
Yeah,
What's creating it
hurting it.
and what
Mm-hmm.
started it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? We got to break
Mm-hmm.
those things down. And I'm so glad
Mm-hmm.
that you have the time in this podcast to actually do this, because a
Yes.
lot of people don't get a chance to really break things down and understand why they do the things they do and why they should do the things that they do.
Yes.
We don't
Why
get to
they
talk about that.
should do. Yes, why they should do. It's like when I started off with the self-love journey, and I started off a long time ago, about I say 12 years. 12 years. I think I've been
Mhm,
retired for about 12 years out of the industry. And in that
mhm,
closet was the first time that I really started doing my self care, self love journey there. Not really knowing what I was
mhm.
doing, but understanding that something needs to be done for me, period. So I can better understand what my purpose is in life is. So when
Mhm.
I did leave from in front of the camera and now I'm, here, I wanted to create something that will help heal the world. You understand what I'm saying? Have better
Mm,
relationships with other people, because I have daughters, and so I want to make
yes.
sure that when they come and connected with somebody else, is that they are able to be able to have a respectable but loving relationship with somebody. And when I mean loving, I'm not
Yes.
talking about sexual. I'm talking about to have empathy and compassion for someone else, to understand that everybody has a different story and not to react
Mm,
to
yes.
everything, and understand that. And the only way that I can teach them that is that I myself go through my own healing process, so I can
Mhm.
be able to better to understand when they come to me for certain things. Now I have a better reaction. And now instead of me talking and telling them, I can show them.
Right. And I love that, because the truth is that we wanna teach to love in overflow.
Yeah.
Not when you're still pouring into your cup, you're not gonna fill yourself up. Give them the overflow. We talk about when you can't pour your cup into other people. They always say that. Well,
Yeah.
my thing is I don't wanna turn my cup. Imma keep my cup right here, and whatever flows out of it, you can put your cup right underneath it. I don't need to
Oh,
turn my
I like
cup anymore.
that.
That's
I
that
like
that's the
that.
self-love. That's the self-love I try to teach, especially for young women, black women, is just
Hmm.
understanding that you don't need to turn your cup anymore. Let it flow. And whoever wants that, they'll be right under there and they'll get whatever that is. But you do not turn your cup. Do
Oh, I
not turn your
like
cup.
that. I
Do
like
not do
that.
that.
I like that.
I'm rewriting some of those stories, right? Even the whole I'm rewriting stories. We gotta change the narrative. Like the whole talk about, you can take a horse, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Right.
We're not doing that anymore. You point to the horse where the water is, and if they want to walk there, they can go there and get the drink. Because the truth is, by the time you pull the horse, you're gonna be so tired that you're gonna have to drink the water because you're tired. And they're wondering what they won't even give you some of the water that they had.
See, let me tell you
point
something.
to where the water is.
Wait, let me tell you something. My grandfather used to think I was so crazy because it was different things that I just didn't understand why some of these, sayings like you made your bed, so now lie in it. Well, yeah, I did. It's my bed. I should lie in it. What does that mean?
There's accountability.
Right. Yeah. You want your cake and eat it too? Yes, it's my cake. I want to eat it. Yes, I do.
Yes.
Make it make sense to me. You understand what I'm saying? So that I totally get, but I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, we gotta change the narrative on these stories. Some of these sayings they didn't think about Nyomi coming in and talking about it. So now we have to go back and just reset these. We're gonna reset these real quick. We gotta change the narrative.
Right. The crazy thing is that one of the messages that I got today and yesterday was break the chain. And what it says in break the chain, it said rewrite your future.
We give our pen to so many people for our own book.
Yes.
Right. And we let them write the story in our own book and be like, I didn't write this. Why am I living it? Why are you letting people take your pen from you?
Yes.
You had your own book. Why are you letting people write your book?
See?
Why?
See, there you go. Y'all, let me tell you something. We ain't even started talking about the dang on topic right now. We hadn't. We just been
This is the warm up. This is the warm up. I made sure I got my vowels and my syllables together, making sure I get my consonants together. Warming up right now.
Well, that's good. You go ahead and get the consonants and all that together. I'm just gonna speak in my Chicago slang, and we gonna be A-okay, right?
I love it. I'm gonna see my straight Ohioan words, like my straight Ohioan language.
Hey, that's Midwest.
We don't have no slang.
Right.
Oh God.
All right, my beautiful people. It's your girl, the Goddess Nyomi here on this season of Self-Love Podcast. I am here with Dr. William C. Washington, and we're going to get into the topic of the power of positive affirmation and rewiring your mind for success. And what we're going to do, we'll take a quick break, and we're going to come back because we just talked almost 20 minutes, but it was a good talk. It was a great talk.
It was so good.
And I'm truly happy to hear you here because they can hear another perspective, which is... That's the marvelous thing. And your voice is deeper than mine. So maybe, no, I'm just kidding.
It'll resonate in the heart's a little different.
Right. Exactly. So we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to come back. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about the power of positive affirmation. All right. It's your girl, the Goddess Nyomi here on the Season of Self-Love Podcast. We will be right back. Hey, my sexy people, are you ready for a transformative conversation? Well, tune in to Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap next week as we dive into the topic of mental health and well-being. Join us on Thursday, February 1st at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time as we explore the challenges and stigmas around mental health. And we'll be discussing anxiety, depression, and the power of self-care. But guess what? That's not all. We're excited to introduce our special guest, Dr. William C. Washington. He is a renowned health psychologist and the founder of Washington Wellness. Dr. Will be sharing his expertise and groundbreaking holistic approach to transforming mental illness. So get ready to be inspired. This episode will break barriers and create a supportive community. We believe in raising awareness and breaking down stigmas surrounding mental health. So make sure you tune in next Thursday, February 1st at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for an eye-opening conversation on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap. All right, welcome back. It's your girl, the Goddess Nyomi here on the Season of Self-Love Podcast. And I am here with Dr. Will from Washington Wellness Institute. How's it going?
It is so good to be here. I have been waiting for this all day. The day was going through, and I was like, I know I gotta see these clients, but I'm like, I gotta get on this. I gotta get on this podcast today. I gotta get on this.
Well, here at the Season of Self-Love, what we do first is we start off with a breathing exercise to kind of help center us, so it prepares us for this session or whatever that God allows to come through, the message to come through for whoever receive it, but for me to just get ready and prepared. All right. So this is what we're going to do. You want to do it?
I would love to.
Oh, well, here we go. All right.
Yeah. So let's adjust our bodies real quick. Let's make sure we sit upright. If you're sitting in your couch or you sit in the car, keep your body relaxed. Plant your feet on the ground, shoulders back. And I want you to inhale with your nose and breathe out with your mouth. Just in with your nose, out with your mouth. Allow yourself to just feel still. Everything moving past you. And as you're breathing, allow your eyes to get lazy. Allow them to rest for a second. Breathe in with your nose, out with your mouth. As you sit, imagine yourself falling into your own heart. Just sinking slowly into your own heart and giving yourself the chance to just sit. You've earned this moment by being here, by being present with us. As you listen today, remember that you're here for a reason. You're here for a purpose. You're here to grow. So allow that beginner's mind to be present today. Allow yourself to be the best beginner you can be today. Breathe in with your nose, out with your mouth. And slowly come back to us when you feel ready. Breathe in with your nose, out with your mouth. Wonderful.
Well, all right. Okay. All right. That's a new. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes. All right, my beautiful people. If you are new here to the Season of Self-Love podcast, as I said before, this is something that we start to do Monday through Friday. And this is our way of making sure that we do a little bit of our self-care. You understand what I'm saying? A little bit. And I want to thank Dr. Will for coming in and helping us to ground us and center us so we can begin this beautiful conversation where we're talking about the power of positive affirmation and rewiring our mind success for success. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to come back. And then when we come back, we're going to be ready. You ready? You ready, Dr. Will?
I'm so excited. I got a lot of things to say. I got some things to say.
All right, it's your girl, D Goddess Bex here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. We will be right back. Let's go. Hey, my sexy people, it's your girl, D Goddess Nyomi. And I finally did it. I've written my first book. Well, actually, it's a living journal. It's called Good Morning, My Sexy People. Where I share my stories in different posts, but help a healing workbook for you. So it's 90 days to kick off your healing living journey. Pre-purchase now. Go to asknyomi.com and hit shop. Listen. Hey, my sexy people, are you ready for a transformative conversation? Well, tune in to Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap next week as we dive into the topic of mental health and well-being. Join us on Thursday, February 1st at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time as we explore the challenges and stigmas around mental health. And we'll be discussing anxiety, depression, and the power of self-care. But guess what? That's not all. We're excited to introduce our special guest, Dr. William C. Washington. He is a renowned health psychologist and the founder of Washington Wellness. Dr. Will be sharing his expertise in groundbreaking holistic approach to transforming mental illness. So get ready to be inspired. This episode will break barriers and create a supportive community. We believe in embracing awareness and breaking down stigmas surrounding mental health. So make sure you tune in next Thursday, February 1st at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for an eye-opening conversation on Ask
Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast with Nyomi, where every day is a chance to embrace self-discovery and personal growth. Join Nyomi on a transformative journey, streaming exclusively on Spotify and Breaker. With daily episodes from Monday through Friday, podcast is your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and self-love. Dive deep into engaging conversations about self-care, mindfulness, and personal development. Nyomi brings you expert insights, practical tips, and uplifting stories from thought leaders in the field. Embark on a journey of self-discovery and unlock the power of self-love. Mark your calendars and tune in to the Season of Self-Love podcast, available every weekday on Spotify and Spreaker. Remember, it's time to prioritize yourself and embrace the beautiful season of self-love. Get inspired and join Nyomi on the Season of Self-Love podcast.
All right, my beautiful people, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am here and we're talking about the power of positive affirmation, rewiring your mind for success with Dr. William C. Washington. That's Dr. Will. If you're nasty, no, I'm just kidding.
If you're healing, if you're healing, Dr. Will, if you're healing. Love it.
All right. So before the break, he helped center us. That was beautiful. Thank you again. I truly appreciate it. But in this segment, we're going to be talking about the science behind the affirmations. All right. And then this segment, we explore the science behind positive affirmation and how do they impact our brain. We'll discuss the neuroscience of rewiring the mind through positive self-talk. And I also share some compelling studies and research demonstrating the effectiveness of positive affirmation. And with positive affirmation, they have gained popularity in recent due to the potential impact on our mindset and well-being. And, you know, for us, this is something that we've talked about a lot. And even right before we really got into the topic, we talked about an affirmation that I brought in, is that I live my day, every moment of the day, with intentional. And me speaking and saying that to myself all the time, it actually get me proactive in living that way. All right. So while the science behind the affirmation is still evolving, there are several theories. There are several theories and studies that suggest that their effectiveness. One way affirmation can be an impact on our brain is through the power of neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity, it refers to the brain ability to reorganize itself and forming new neural connections and pathway.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
and
big.
when we repeat positive affirmation, it's believed that we are rewiring our brain to create a more positive thought patterns and belief. Now, you can tell me more about this, but it says research has shown that affirmations can activate the reward centers in our brain, specifically the mesolimbic pathway. And this pathway is responsible for releasing the dopamine in a neurotransmitter and associated with motivation and pleasure. So with dopamine, I remember doing my courses to get certification, that dopamine was more of a sexual thing that we were using with certain foods and certain things that you eat. And even when you hug someone and you get that connection, it's able to release certain dopamines from your body. You understand what I'm saying? But it's good now when I'm doing my more research here with the self-love and digging deep more into our mental, I see it keep coming up time and time again, again that. So by engaging in this reward system, affirmations can help reinforce positive thinking and reinforce positive behavior. So there's several compelling studies that have demonstrated the effectiveness of positive affirmation. And one is a study published in the Psychology Science found that self-affirmation exercises reduce the stress response in individuals we subjected to a stressful task. And the participants who practiced self-affirmation showed lower levels of cortisol, a hormone associated with stress. Now, for you, Dr. Will, is that something that you agree with?
Yes, I really, I actually do transcendental meditations, and that's what I'm currently getting trained in at the same time. And I think we don't, because of the lifestyles that we live, we don't get to focus on that. We don't get a chance to focus on how the positive affirmations and the brain connect to each other, because we have to be taken out of that.
Yeah.
So it's so important that you're talking about this. And the brain is literally learning different ways how to keep you alive and consistent.
Yeah.
So much. So to give it that moment to rest and to enjoy that dopamine moment,
Yeah.
it's so important. You have to make your dopamine receiving versatile. You
Yeah.
have to find different ways to unleash that and unlock that.
Yeah. And also, I want to ask you this. I know for me, and I'm just going to be very honest, when I feel that it's like a sensation, like with that dopamine coming, it's the sensation
Mhm.
release. Is there anything that can help? Because sometimes it can be a little shocking to some people's system,
Yeah.
especially if they never felt that before. Is there anything that can help, someone that's just receiving that at the first time to understand what that is to help bring it back to a,
Oh my
a
gosh.
nice smooth place
Yeah.
where they ain't, what it
You know,
caused another addiction to
neurons are gonna neuron. So what they want to do. But I will say a way to help regulate it, right?
Mhm,
But to regulate it would be doing a spatial check, right? What am I doing? Where am I doing it at? Who am I with? Why am I doing this? How long can I do this? Right? Asking, being inquisitive, asking those nosy questions
mhm,
help you understand the passion of your moment. I'm
mhm,
passionate when I get like a dopamine rush when I'm performing on stage and I'm performing in front of thousands of people, and it's like, what I know what I'm doing. I'm just like, what do I gotta do next? Like, what am I supposed to do with my hands? I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my hands, and so like you have to really hone in on like what am I doing here? Why am I doing this?
mhm,
What is this? What is the meaning of this moment? And that's
mhm,
right. That's all spiritual health. So just
mhm,
meaning of that feeling.
mhm.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah,
Oh yeah.
thank you for that. For me, and I'm a piggyback on that. And that's where the mindfulness comes in. That's where you come and you bring yourself to this
Hmm.
space and ground yourself here and there. So let me tell you one of the grounding things that I do. In the middle of whatever I'm doing, I will get up and turn on some music and just vibe the hell out. I'll be just dancing because it helps
Yes.
center me. It helps get me grounded, to where I'm just
Yes.
like, okay, I'm good now. So let me go back and sit down and, and get into whatever it is that I'm
Yes.
supposed to be getting into.
I love
For
that.
you,
I love
yeah.
that. I love that.
For you, what
Sometimes you
is
gotta
the
step outside, you gotta come back in.
yes, you do.
That's
You
true.
do. You do. Now, for you,
Hmm.
what have been your grounding moments or practices that you do for you?
Yeah. So for me, I always do games. So I'll always do my Rubik's cubes. I'll
Okay.
go through my deck. I have my own deck I made, so I go through decks to ground myself. Or as always, one thing I always get is I'm a musician as well, so I tour and travel the world. So I always play my instruments as well. So this is my didgeridoo. So I always use it as frequencies. So using frequencies, sound, playing, learning, that's my way. So I'm always about trying to ground with things I do. I always transmute that energy into things and creative things. So it's
Oh,
that. So that's where I'm at always.
not okay. Okay. All right. So here's another study. Another study that I looked up. It was published in the Journal of Personality in Social Psychology. It finds that self-affirmation is our intervention to increase academic performance and reduce the achievement
Mhm.
gap among underperforming students. And this research found that when students affirm their values and strength, that they are more likely to adopt positive learning strategies and leading to improved outcomes. All right, so I want to
Mm.
share a story with you. My little one, my baby. Um,
Mhm.
since 2020, 2020, everybody was locked in, and it
Everybody
kind
was
of,
shut down.
yeah, everybody kind of shut down. And so, of course, her grades were, you know, she's a
Mhm.
math genius, but it was hard for her to truly concentrate on what she was doing. And plus, for her to even ask us, it's a whole new type of math now. They ain't doing the math that we used to do back 30, 40 years
Oh yeah,
ago.
the math ain't mathing the same way. Math ain't mathing like it used to.
Not at all. So it used to get her frustrated to where now I'm proud of her because now she's just made the honor roll. And she was very proud of
Mm.
making an honor roll because, and let me say this, because she did not come to us not one time to help her at all.
Oh,
And
wow.
she was able to do it on her own. And just to know, she was like, Mommy, come look at my grades. Come look at my grades. You know, come. And this was in midterm. This not even the report cards.
Right.
She said, well, I only need this many to, you know, to get this point. And I'm looking at her like, okay. Mind you, I didn't have to yell. I didn't have to scream. I didn't have to do any of those things. It just for her herself, she knew where she
Yes.
wanted to be, you know, with her grades
Yes.
and just her own affirmation for herself. And when I say this baby girl,
Yes.
and I'm just not saying that because she's my baby, but she is she's very entrepreneurial. She has a very entrepreneurial spirit. So she has about 3 businesses right now that she started when she was 5. She started another one at 8. And then she started another one
Wow.
about 3 years ago. No, 2 years ago. I'm sorry, 2 years ago.
Wow.
And she's on it. Like when I say she's on it, like she do better than me. I'm
Yeah.
not even gonna lie. Because she
She,
got
but she learned watching, but she learned seeing you work hard. You making this whole show and doing all this work. I saw your calendar. If she saw your calendar, I know it's something like this. I know what's going on. I was like, oh, I started sweating. I was like, it runs in the family. It runs in the family. That's all that is. Oh yeah.
And you know, and it's so funny because I try not to push any of my girls. Now, my first baby, I did because I didn't know any better. I didn't know any better. And she was like what'd you call that? She was my test dummy, and not to put dummy on her like she didn't know anything.
Right. Yeah.
But that's what she was because I didn't know. The second one, I kind of like coddled her some because I didn't want to do the damage that I did, push the other one, you know. And then this third one, she was like, shit, I'm here. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
I'm gonna live life. Like where's the party? Life is here.
Right. And so I hold my hands up like this. Okay, girl, you go do you. And that's all I can do. But when I was reading this the other day, when I was doing my research and I saw that, I just thought of my baby girl and I said, this is right. Because even before I drop her off in the morning, I do a prayer. I pray on her before she get out of the car. I pray over her and over the school before, because things are not like they was when we were going to school. At least when I was going to school, it's not like that. To where school was the safest place that you can go.
School was a sanctuary.
Yes, it was. And so just even her understanding that and reminded me that, say if I'm, you know, on the phone working, if I'm on the phone working in the car while we sitting in it, you know, in the West Name, and she said, Mommy, we got to pray. Oh, okay. And, you know, and then I grab her hand and then we praying and she, you know, she goes out.
Positivity is becoming a lifestyle.
Yes.
Love that.
Yes.
Wow.
And that's the one thing that I'm teaching my children, because it does start from home. I don't care what you say. It starts at home.
Yes.
Home is where your foundation in your core is. And when you look at it, you as parents, if you are parents out here, you have children, that's where you have to go do the healing from, because never once do you want to send your child out there to harm somebody else. Even though you might have been born out of a broken relationship. And what I mean broken, 2 broken people come together and create what? More broken people.
Yes. I'm so, and earlier in this podcast, we talked about, we have to change the narrative, right? So like, you say it starts at the home, remember?
Yes.
But now we have to ask, well, what's in the home now? Who's in the home?
Yes.
Why are they in the home?
Yes.
And do they know why they're in the home and not the house?
Yes.
Because now we're creating houses and we're taking away what it means to be in a home.
Yes.
We have to be so sensitive about that, because these kids have the whole world at their fingertips now.
Yes. It's totally different. It's totally different from where we were. You know, I think about, I don't know how old you are, Dr. Will, but for me, you know, we had pages, and I didn't have a pager until I was grown, you know, like I was 19, 20 years old. You know, I think I got my first cell phone when I was maybe 20, 22, maybe something like that. You know, because really cell phones were just coming out, you know, back in the day.
I was in the texting era. I had my phone right around 7th, 8th grade, and we just started texting. I was doing the T9 and all that.
The sidekick.
Hot stuff. Yeah, I had the side flip. I had the flip phone. I was on it. Yeah.
See, now it's, kids run around here now with phones, iPhones and all of that other stuff. So they have the
Mm-hmm.
world right, like you said, right in their hands. Well, we didn't
Mm-hmm.
have that before. And so not only is it can be a very positive thing for them, but also on a mental aspect, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's
Yeah.
like for me,
Yeah.
I say, okay, we have to take a mental break from the computers. We have to take a mental break from playing these
Yes.
games. We have to take them in. So let's go watch a movie, let's read a book, let's play a
Mm-hmm.
game, let's go out in the backyard and swim. Let's do things like that to be more proactive, to where back in the day we outside until the street lights come on. And then when the street lights come on, we in the front yard.
You were
So
in, we were back
rarely,
inside. I didn't even play around with that.
yeah,
Yeah.
like period. And so what doing and what I got to go back to this, because this is why it's so important that the Season of Self-Love podcast was created. Because when I'm
Mm.
on Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap podcast, we do talk about self-love. We do. But I have to
Yeah.
remember what I'm talking about over there too is love and relationship and spirituality. And it's the combination of both, blending in different cultures,
Yes.
bridging the gap between it all, that I couldn't really talk about self-love over there. So I had to create
Yeah.
a dedicated podcast for that. So when I do come back over
Mm.
here to Ask Naomi, that we can talk and be amongst each other. But also, if you want to hear
Right.
something else, you can go over here and you can truly get your healing on. You know what I'm saying? You can help assist. If
Love
you even
that.
want to see a therapist or anything like that, and they're giving you
Mm.
homework to do, at least now you understand what the homework is and why it means what it means
Yeah.
to you. You understand what I'm
I
saying?
love that. And
Yeah.
it's so important that you do that because, I tell my clients like, you know, therapy happens in the session, but healing happens in the application.
Ooh,
I'm
say
only
that
in your
again.
life for 60 minutes, right? Like therapy happens in the session, but healing happens in the application. I know that I'm only 60 minutes worth of life to you, which means that you have another
Mm,
23 hours in your life to be intentional and to be decisive and to be discerning about who you are. With me, you can be completely authentic and be yourself.
mm-hmm.
There's no wrong way to be yourself. But when you
Yeah.
go back out this door, you have to be a thing. You have to be a person. You are a somebody to somebody,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's okay to be a nobody in my door, but that doesn't
Mm-hmm.
work after you leave my door. So
Exactly.
it's important to understand that. And I'm so glad that your podcast really does harness that type of self
Yeah.
acknowledgement and responsibility to self.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah. And you know what? We have to I had a conversation with a client on Monday, and he actually ordered a guided meditation. So when they order a guided meditation, I do a complimentary Zoom session with them, so I can really, talk to them and understand what's going on and what is needed for.
Hmm.
And as he speaking to me, he's saying that he's been listening, throughout the whole time from the very first episode, but also, he's been following my whole career. But
Hmm.
he's understanding what a lot of these tools are that's have been given to him to understand the trauma or and I'm doing like this because
Right.
we've been programmed a certain way and I
Hmm.
don't want to say it's a right or wrong way, but it's just not what we are aligned to today. And that's
We've been
wrong.
conditioned. Yeah. We've been
Yes,
conditioned. Yeah.
yes, yes. And it's like allow us to think of a more of a free will of a new, and when I say this is gonna be a new world order,
Mm.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah.
told people, I'll be honest with you. I've told people in 2019, I said, we are going to be going through a psychological warfare and we don't even recognize it. And it's still been going on. It's been going on for the
Yeah,
past 5 years.
yeah,
And I think
yeah.
that people really need to understand that we do not realize how much is happening to us. And people think we're done with the pandemic. I just made a post the other day saying we are still suffering from the pandemic. We are not
Mm-hmm.
done. We
Mm-hmm.
are not done. Our system, like you can't go to Walmart after 11 o'clock anymore. That means there's still
No.
something not ready anymore. It's like
Yeah,
something as simple as that. There's still something happening,
yeah,
and you don't recognize it yet.
yeah. It's
It's
crazy
real.
energetically. It's some stores I cannot go into. literally.
Yes.
Walmart.
Yes.
I haven't been into Walmart in a year.
It's the energy is different.
Yes.
It's just a different type of energy in the space.
Yeah.
That to me, that's environmental health.
Yeah.
Right? Where I root myself is who I become. So
Yeah.
I can't go to some places that I don't feel like I can be seen.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, you know what? Let me tell you something. Okay. All right. Listen, y'all. Okay. So I'm just going to tell you, when me and Dr. Will get on these conversations, we might be talking about this subject and then we might go on to something else. So we talk a little bit about this. But our show is almost coming to an end and we haven't even scratched, too much of anything.
Oh, it's all full circle. Oh, it's going to be full circle. It's going to be full. Everything we talk about is going to be full circle. I already see it. I already see it. I'm ready.
Right. So I didn't even get to really tell y'all all the glitzing in everything in there. But this is what I want you to do, because we only got a few more minutes, about a good 10 minutes left in this. And I just want you to talk. I just want you to explain, coming from your point of view, as well as what you do, your expertise on what are your thing with the power of affirmation, and how, and what advice would you give to the listeners out there when forming or creating their affirmations for themselves?
Yes. So, get your purpose pen, get your purpose paper. All right. So when it comes to affirmations, you have to ask yourself some questions. The first question is asking yourself, why do I need this affirmation? You have to have a direction. Affirmation is a direction of purpose. Why do I need this affirmation? 2, who is this affirmation for? Who does this affirmation affect? Because if it's not personal for you, it means it's going to affect other people around you. And do those people have the same intentions as you? So who is this for? And then 3, how many times do I need to say this and why? A lot of times when we don't say enough, you don't get your affirmation reps in, you lose the spirituality of it. You lose the manifestation of it. You lose the intentionality of it. Your brain is thinking left all day long. And then you have to slow it down with your affirmation, might be right. And then eventually your brain is going to do the neuroplastic thing and be like, wait, okay, what's this right thing you talking about? Okay, wait, what is this? It's going to slowly turn itself around and be like, oh, okay, so this is what we're doing? This feels weird. I'm not used to this because I've been learning life this way.
But yes.
So the positive affirmation is a chance for your body, your mind, and your spirit to say, there is something in me that I need. Let me prepare my body for this. Let me prepare my mind for this. Let me prepare my heart for this. Let me prepare my spirit for this. Because the truth is that your affirmation, it's positive because it's taking you somewhere that has purpose. Yeah. Not because it's good, not because it's going to get you a lot of money. It's, are you in the right mindset to receive that money, right? Are you in the right mindset to get past something? I don't care that you're a 4.0 student. Oh, I need to get a 4.0 student. I need to be a 4. I know a lot of 4.0 students that have miserable lives because they are guided by a conditioned system. Let me be the best student I can be. If that means you're going to get a C+, then ask yourself, is that who you needed to be to get that C+? Is that who you wanted to be? Yes. Okay. Because the truth is that there are more tests and grades that are going to be happening in your life than what a school would ever do.
Oh, say that.
Right. So those positive affirmations are meant to guide your purpose. Yes. And if you live your purpose enough, you will overflow. And that overflow will actually go into the people around you and pour into those around you because you're living your purpose. The purpose isn't worried about anybody else. The purpose is worried about who you are going to be. So ask yourself, what do I want to be known for? That is the question of purpose. Purpose is the human compass. And to have a positive affirmation is the gas for that, is the guideline for that. So you ask yourself, what do I want to be known for? Because purpose is the human compass.
Oh, yes. Yeah, go ahead.
We there. Dr. Willis, you're healing.
Right. So let me tell you something. When you was talking, I was like, oh my, he's just confirmation. He boom, like boom, boom. I really love this. This is amazing. And I am truly happy that you will be joining me twice a week here on the Season of
Yes.
Self-Love podcast. Like really. So you back with us tomorrow. You back with us?
Yes,
back with
I'll
us
be there.
tomorrow.
I didn't leave. I'm still here.
You're back with us tomorrow. All right, my beautiful people. All right, so I know we kind of got off topic just a little bit, but not really. But not really. We still talked about affirmation. We still talked about the powerful thing, but also we were talking about being in the moment and being mindful, and also with different examples of us in the moment now, in real time. In real time. And so even though we might give you stats or different things like that, but also we giving you the real of it all, our authentic self,
Yes.
authentic conversations. That's all that I have to give, is just who I am in me, period.
And that is enough.
Yeah,
and that is enough.
right.
That is so enough.
Period. So, my beautiful people, I want to thank you for continuing to share this space with me. I really, really do. And I hope that, my prayer, let me take that hope out. My prayer is that you was able to receive any and all that is resonated and meant for you in this session. All right. So until tomorrow, you guys have a great and beautiful day. Have a good one. Thank you for listening to the Season of Self-Love podcast. If you have any questions or would like to connect with us, you can follow us on social media. Just search for the Season of Self-Love on Instagram. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, feel free to email us at elevateme9999@gmail.com. And remember, you are worthy of love, growth, and happiness. So keep shining bright. And I'll see you tomorrow for another episode of the Season of Self-Love. Be good to one another and yourselves. And always keep it sexy. Sending light, love, and prayers.